one of the big questions, Phil, that we've gotten, we went to the homies and had them ask us anything, and there's so many questions about the new backup quarterback in Green Bay, and that is Jordan Love. And so I'd like to get your perspective on this, and we'll start with a question. This one coming from James, who said, do you think Aaron Rodgers should force a trade and give Matt LaFleur the middle finger? So what do you think? What do you think Rodgers is thinking right now? And just what do you make of the Packers taking Jordan Love, trading up to get him in the first round?
I'm not going to say I was shocked. That's way too much, but I was like, wow. I really like my son. You know, we do think alike, unfortunately. He probably doesn't like to hear that. We don't look alike, so he's really happy about that. But you know, I thought the Packers, I would have bet they were going to take a defensive tackle. I just was saying, hey, what happened when they played San Francisco twice last year? What happened when they played the Philadelphia Eagles? Whatever we talked about Monday Night Football, it was ram it down your throat. The Minnesota Vikings run it down. I mean, that was, you know, when you get run on, it's hard to be a championship team. It really is, unless you have something just super in the secondary, kind of like New England sometimes. They win the games even if their defensive front's not great because their secondary was so great. But I thought, okay, if it's not a defensive tackle, it would be a wide receiver. And the richest wide receiver draft we've ever seen probably, and maybe won't see another one like it for a long time. But they pass, and not only do they do it, and here's the thing. We're talking about, I think, a project quarterback. I did not see what everybody else see, including my son. I said, I watched him. I said, okay, I see the potential, you know, but I don't see a clear-cut, polished enough where we got somebody we can almost claim starting out the gate as our starting quarterback in a normal year. I definitely did not see that. My son called me, Christopher, and I said, well, damn, I heard you. Let me look at it again. So what happened, Christopher, when you called me?
Well, I called you. You looked at it again. You looked at it more, and then Dad, like maybe the next day, called me back. He's like, Christopher. I mean, I see what you're looking at a little bit with this Jordan Love. I mean, you're right. The good is really good. I mean, and I think we were both. I was more floored by it, and I think I got tricked by it a little bit because you see throws where you go, whoa, that's Aaron Rodgers. But to Dad's point, when you're really evaluating a player, there was so much inconsistency in not only accuracy of the throws, but decision-making to where you just went, and Dad ultimately said, Christopher, I know what you see a little with Jordan Love, but I don't think you can't rank him in front of Tua. You just can't. By what you're seeing and studying, there's no way. And when he said that to me, I was like, you know what, you're right. I'm wanting Jordan Love to be something that I like, and I see some potential there. But to be fair, no, I couldn't put him in the class of Tua, and I thought Dad made a lot of good points there.
Yeah. So there's no way.
Let me say this. I didn't judge their team. It wasn't like he was the receivers. Look, nobody got it was a terrible offense. I know that, and I didn't judge that. I never do. I judge the player. The team could go 14-0, and I can still hate the quarterback or not like him, and things like that. So, I just, I'm always fighting this with people. When you still hear it even from coaches, and this guy's drafted because he's good for our room. Oh my God. One of my biggest pets. I'm so sick of hearing about the quarterback room. I don't remember ever sitting one in 15 years going, wow, this quarterback room's not any good. We need to get some more. I mean, it's just stupid. It really is. But everybody says it. Oh, this. They got all these code words that to me just mean nothing. I don't know what else to say about that. But,
yeah.
But my thing is, we're in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers is still a really good quarterback. Really good. The team is almost there, and we don't do really anything to drive the team to the next level to make us a little more competitive. I mean, look, Green Bay had a 13-3 record. That thing could have been 9-7 as easy as it was 13-3. Let's don't kid ourselves. That's what I saw. And when they went to San Francisco to play in the championship game, I thought, oh my God, they have no chance in this. How's it going to change so drastically from one game to the next when they played each other, and it didn't. So, hey, but I'm just saying, we're looking at 1 year. this, but to look down the road, in 3 years he'll be our starter. This is just what Aaron Rodgers did 15 years ago. I don't care about 15 years ago. The world has changed. It's now. It's now. Hell, Matt LaFleur might not see Jordan Love play if this thing falls apart in Green Bay. It won't.
Right.
But, but Aaron, you said it right. I don't know if you've heard Christopher say this. Aaron Rodgers has all the cards now. It's total freedom, baby. Okay, you got 2 years, whatever. Okay, what are they going to do? You know what I'm saying? He can just do what he wants, and this is the interesting thing about it. Oh, Matt LaFleur is taking over control of the team. Well, okay. Well, I don't know. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is going to go up there and just do what he wants, but I just think it does empower him a little bit for the next couple of years.
Definitely. And just to answer the question specifically too, because I got friends that are like, oh man, do you think they're going to trade Rodgers? They can't trade him for 2 years. They can't. It'll ruin their football team. He's got a $51 million cap charge this year. So if they trade him, that's $51 million for a guy that's not even on their team. Next year, it's north of $30 million cap charge. So it's 2 years of Aaron Rodgers, like Dad said, he's got the power now to go, hey, I'm going to play. I just really think in my heart of hearts, this is what I think Aaron Rodgers can do. I think he's going to be very motivated. He's going to be chippy. He's going to have 2 really awesome years there and go, all right, I'm ready to move on. Is Jordan Love ready for you guys? Oh, that's right. I don't really care. I want to be traded. Get me out of here. And I think he's going to force his way out. I don't think he's going to play nice guy with Green Bay. I mean, if I'm him, I'm just pissed off beyond belief right now.
Let me ask you. Yeah. You're sitting here. What did you think sitting there, and then you saw the draft pick? Did you go, oh, I like it? What did you think? Or were you shocked? What was your thought?
I think I would love to say, because I'm at heart a contrarian, I would love to say that I like to see it. And, part of me does see in the NFL, right, if you can have a backup quarterback, quarterback's the most important position in all of football. And if you lose your quarterback, you don't want your season to go kaput. So, having a solid backup quarterback might be the smartest thing you can do if your starter's going to get hurt. But yeah, I was with everyone else. You said all the things that Aaron Rodgers is going to have: leverage. He's going to have an ability to prove Matt LaFleur wrong in 2 years. But what he's not going to have is these high-flying wide receivers or weapons around him to do it, which is what we all thought they would get in the deepest wide receiver draft ever. So yeah, I'm with you guys. Everyone's scratching their head on it and trying to figure out how it's all going to work together. And some people, Phil, were scratching their head on what the Eagles did with Jalen Hurts. Now, I didn't spend a first-round pick on Jalen Hurts, but MIA Shelton asked, what are the Eagles doing? I don't understand the philosophy. Now, I think part of it with Hurts is you look at the Taysom Hill comp with New Orleans and you say, all right, if he's not the starting quarterback, he's still of value to your team doing a whole bunch of other things. Do you think that's a possibility with the Eagles and what they're looking at with Hurts?
Well, you guys have said all these things. Everybody's thought, yeah, look, he Taysom Hill, what he does down in New Orleans, it's good. It's very good for the football team and all that stuff. There's a couple things. One, he does not throw the ball probably as well as Taysom Hill. I don't think he's as fast as Taysom Hill. So that's, Jalen Hurts is more of a kind of a power runner. Yeah, he'll be good. If he's throwing, has to move out of the pocket, he can pick up some extra yards. His legs. Look, I watched him on a YouTube shot or whatever. I saw him squat for real, 600 pounds. So I think that's what he said. It was 600. I was like, oh my, he has got an unbelievable set of legs. And okay, so I see all that. And is he your backup quarterback this year? I would think he would not be the backup quarterback. He will be a guy that'll play intermittently and do those type of things. And I think down the road, 1 year or soon, 2 years, whatever, they would hope he could turn in to the backup quarterback if they can refine his throwing. His throwing is not NFL average. I mean, I know he wanted Alabama and wanted Oklahoma. I know, so shoot, Greg McElroy won a national championship down in Alabama. Why don't we say he's a winner and draft him in the first, second round? So it's, of course, you play for Alabama, Oklahoma, you're the quarterback, you're going to win a lot of games. Or, that's just Georgia. Oh, you're going to win a lot of games. So, but I understand what they want to do. Did you have to do it in the second round? Me, just judging it before the draft, I said if you get Jalen Hurts in the third round, I'd be really happy with that. But I'm sure the Eagles, were a little scared about it because I'm sure there was other teams that saw the same thing, probably third round. And the Eagles, if they wanted him that bad, they took him in the second.
Yeah, Ahmed, I mean, I've talked about this a lot. Again, First off, this isn't like Jordan Love, all right? This is not the same thing. This is about, to what Dad's saying, I think a little bit of a weapon for the offense here for a few years. I'm with Dad. I question, the weaponry status of Jalen Hurts as well. But nonetheless, I get it. And it's a copycat league, and he's such a big name in the college sports world that, the hype and everything around him is so big. But I don't think in any way, shape, or form he is there to challenge Carson Wentz. Now, listen, Carson Wentz, he's not one of the 5 best quarterbacks in football. I get that. Right? I'm not going to put him in Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson class there, Russell Wilson. But he's that next group down. And, people were crazy to think like Philadelphia gave him $100 million guaranteed. They traded away a bunch of draft picks to get him. They believe in Carson Wentz. He's special. I think Dad agrees with me there. I mean, he's one of those quarterbacks where you give him a few more weapons and you go, ooh, he could be the MVP of NFL, just like he was in 2017, should have been. So he's a special, special talent that proved to us he can carry the team even when the offense or players are not healthy. And that's really, really rare. That really is. And I don't think, I don't think this is an indictment or a competition for Carson Wentz by any stretch of the imagination anytime soon. No way.
And, Ahmed, this is always love. Even when I played, we would draft a quarterback in the 6th round, 8th round, and somebody go, oh, well, you worried a little bit? I go, about what? Well, they draft the guy in the 6th round. Yeah, okay, well, let's see if he makes the team. And then, okay, I'm not worried. I mean, everybody, when there's a quarterback, well, he's, competition. No. Jalen Hurts, when he sees the NFL, it's going to be an entirely different game than he played at Oklahoma and Alabama, where they were almost every single time when they took the field, they were by far the more talented team and all that in many ways, scheme, talent, everything else. So it'll be interesting. But my point being is this: Carson Wentz is one of the few that literally and physically and emotionally, whatever you want to say, can carry a football team. His toughness, his talent, all of it. It was on display again last year. Those last 4 games, I mean, he was tremendous. And it was just about toughing it out. It wasn't about, we got talent, we're going to win this way. It was just, even against the Giants, who were not very good, he somehow pulled that game out. And it was just great throws at the end of the game, just being tough and kind of willing his team to do it. It's one of the few guys, Russell Wilson, of course, there's a few that can do it with their mentality and just refusal to lose. I'm not going to say there's 10 of those out there in the NFL because there's not. So
yeah, Eagles are going to be in contention there in the NFC East. Do you got time for a couple questions from the homies here, Phil, before we let you go?
Hey, let me tell you something. First off, before you, I'm very frustrated about everything, and about I do all this work for the NFL. I study all these guys. And then I actually was calling people up. I'll come on your radio show. I'll do segments, 2, 3. Just keep me on. And hell, we'd never get off the quarterbacks. I go, okay, that was great. Yeah, okay, thanks.
I got to talk quarterbacks.
We'll try to get off the quarterbacks here with a few questions. We'll try.
I don't mind them coming up. Let's get into other things too. Sometimes I actually do know a little more than just quarterbacks. But go ahead.
All right, so here's the Giants. You got the homies are clamoring for answers.
Homies. We will come there and whoop your ass, Big Phil. Watch it.
Hey, you know what? You better be quick as hell, because if I get my hands on your ass, you're in trouble, boy. Okay.
Phil challenging the homies here to a fight. All right, Billy Wagner.
Hey, look, who we kidding? I mean, come on. I was a boxer growing up. I went 2 and 3. So there you go.
Billy Wagner's. We need a picture from Billy Wagner here to see how big he is and see if we would really want to challenge him to a fight. But he is asking, Phil, how far do you think the Giants are from contending? So they were 4-12 last year, as you guys well know. They had just one winning season the last 7 years. They appear to be in a division where it wouldn't take a whole lot to get back near the top. Had a pretty good draft. Got Andrew Thomas. Got Xavier McKinney, Chris, I know you like him a lot. They added Blake Martinez, James Bradbury in free agency. So what do you think? The Giants 4-12 last year. How much better are they this year?
I think there's no question they'll be better for many reasons. One, get some people back that were hurt. Evan Ingram won. Daniel Jones his second year. I'm really interested to see what the offense looks like under Jason Garrett for Daniel Jones. I love the offense. I love Pat Shurmur. What a get for the Denver Broncos to get him with a quarterback. And I just think of what he was doing up in Minnesota. I was anxious to see that down here with the Giants. It never worked out because the offensive line was just not good enough to do what he wanted to do. But I would say the Giants this year, next year, you'd like to see progress. And then so that would make it 2022 would be the year that they got to point to and go, we really got to be a factor by that time. And if they can accomplish that, that would really, I think, that would be great. I think that's the best they can hope for. I still think they're a lot of players away from being a big-time contending team. But I thought their draft, Andrew Thomas, McKinney, two good guys there, a few good free agent pickups. That was great. And finally, I think the offensive line is going to be somewhat where they want it to be, so their main guys can show their talent. That's the biggest thing about the Giants.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I agree. I don't think like the Giants are going to be playoff contenders this year, but I think they're going to be a pain in the butt for a lot of teams that do go to the playoffs and pull off a few upsets. Like I would think the Giants flirt with a 500 record. I do. The one thing I like about the Giants, and I think Dad would agree with this. They're invested in big people, and I do like that aspect of them. Their defensive line is as big as any defensive line in football. And when you play in a division with the Washington Redskins, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Dallas Cowboys, and the offensive lines they have, they're going to be able to stand up to those teams physically and give them a tough time. And then they improve the offensive line. There's no doubt about it. And of course, Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley in years 2 and 3 is going to be a big boost for their football team as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Dave Gettleman, just like he did at Carolina, he was part of that. When I went out, I'll never forget the Super Bowl, going out and watching them practice. I did a few of the games before and watched them practice, but I was really up close. They were cool. I literally could go stand in the huddle if I wanted to. And I would just remember watching practice going, oh, my God, this team is so big. And this was on I don't know if it was I guess it was a Thursday before the Super Bowl. I could not get over how hard they practice. And I said something to somebody. He goes, oh, no, this is every day. These guys are crazy. And so I think Dave Gettleman envisions that team, big, powerful, all that. And I guess the big question, too, is I'm really anxious to see just I don't know if I can say a word for it, Joe Judge. What am I going to see from the team that I know is because of him?
Right.
We watch the Patriots. We know Bill Belichick. We know Kyle Shanahan. We know, Sean Payton down in San Francisco. We know these guys. We know who they're about. We see their team. Yep, that's them and all that. And I can't wait to see if Joe Judge, how long it takes him to really put his print on the New York Giants.
One more before I let you go here, Phil. This one comes from Connor Gilmore. It's not about quarterbacks, not about the NFC East. He says, what do NFL players do if they have to take a piss in the middle of a game? It's a very important question, and I'm sure it does come up from time to time.
I know guys would say they would just do it in their pants. I just go, oh, my God. How would that even come about during a game? You're so emotional and you're burning and whatever, but some circle the wagons. They do it in the trash can when I played. But you couldn't do that now because, oh, my gosh, maybe now they can go under the tent, I guess, if they have to. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
But we actually had a guy on our team one time, Ahmed, this story, I'll tell it fast. The trainer comes up and says, so-and-so has to go to the bathroom. He goes, and we're going to take him inside. He goes, what? Tell him to do it in his pants. And the trainer goes, no, to Parcells, he's really got to go. Are you telling me he's got a boom or whatever? And he goes, yes, that's what I'm telling you. He goes, well, tell him he can't do it. Now, the guy, it was hot. We were in Dallas. He had 2 IVs. He had each arm stuck as we went into halftime. We were on the field constantly killing him. That was back when the Cowboys were no good. And he finally just said, hey, tell him he's not going in. He might as well just do it in his pants. And whatever. So I'll kind of leave it at that. But we wore those white pants, and you sweat and all that, so you can just you can picture the rest.
Wait, so it happened?
Gosh.
He actually did it?
Oh, yeah. Well, he had no choice. You know, the IVs and everything. He was so saturated, I guess, or whatever, and came out there. And no exaggeration, I'm telling you, it was at least 100 degrees on the field. That's back in the old stadium, you know. And that's all they kept saying before the game. The field temperature today is 112 degrees. I'm like, oh, I'm so frightened by that. You know, they were trying to, like, do this on purpose to psych us out. And we just went out there. I think it was Jimmy's, maybe his second year. I mean, we destroyed him. Maybe it was his first year. Or, no, probably his second year, because we were kind of ready for what they did. But, you know, that story changed pretty quick, too.
Well, yeah, I can tell you that. I can tell you my number one fear in TV has always been to throw up, to vomit live on TV. But that might be number two, literally. Number two might be number two for me. That would be just because that's what you're known as. That's what you're you're known as then.
Oh my gosh, to throw up! I can't imagine doing that. That's for sure. But yeah, no, well, whatever. Hey, control your body. That's all I can say. But you know, before you guys go, I just wanted a couple things. I thought we did some great. It was fun today. But I just look at teams, the draft. And it was just so unbelievable. LSU, Michigan, Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, and the newcomer, which I said to somebody, I said, man, they're the best-looking team I watch on film almost, Utah. I mean, those teams together, you literally could form an NFL team for real and compete. I think if you put them all together and, you know, just kept adding on to it. I mean, that's how it was just amazing, the number of guys. LSU, 16 drafted players? Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, it's a 16 or 17. I can't remember exactly, but it's right there. But, yeah.
And how many do you think they had signed as priority free agents? I mean, they were expecting at least 20 kids to go.
Yeah, right. I got to look that number up, but I would think it's at least another 5 or 6 guys, certainly. But, I mean, yeah, it just hits to the broader point, too. And I'm with you, Utah. But – man, Dad, when you watch college football, I mean, I don't know if you and I have talked about this, but it's just the SEC for team by team basis is just on another level from the rest of college football. Like Dad and I talked about the Michigan-Alabama game the other night on the phone. They played each other in, what was it, the Citrus Bowl or something like that down in Florida?
Yeah, the Outback or something, yeah.
And, you know, we look at Michigan as football fans and go, they're not the cream of the crop, but they're that next group down every year where we go, they could be in the national title picture. I mean, they didn't even have the same look as them as Alabama. Alabama looked like they were playing a lesser team altogether because Alabama's full of grown men who were just beasts all over the field.
Well, it looked like they were playing Troy State. I mean, or somebody. I was like shocked. I was turning it on and go, well, Michigan's winning, but oh my God, Alabama looks like a professional team. Well, of course they're borderline are with so many guys, which is just amazing. And what's really cool, Ahmed, about it when you get doing all this draft stuff, and I really enjoy watching the players. And you know, I go through all of it and watch. And I go, you know what? Why am I wasting my time? Let me just go to the Auburn-Alabama game and watch him, because he's going to be playing against a pro, or blocking a pro, pass rushing against a first-round tackle, whatever it is, wide receivers going against first-round corners. I mean, so you watch 2 or 3 of those games, and you got all your answers. You don't even need to watch anything else. And it's that was what was really fun. And the Big Ten, I give them a lot of credit too. Look, it's not the SEC, but they're getting where they're really. I'm not going to say they're close, but they're pouring out players left and right, and watching the Big Ten, there's just a lot of good football players, professionals, and a lot of good football teams too. So it's great. So that was a good. I think the fun thing about trying to see where everybody was going to get picked, and just see how many teams really just kind of hit it. I mean, it just goes down the line. Indianapolis, I love what they did. The San Francisco. Carolina, just some of their early draft picks. Of course, you guys have talked endlessly, I'm sure, about the Denver Broncos, what they did. A sneaky team that did great, that's, whatever they say, a total rebuild, was Jacksonville.
Sure.
I think they did a terrific job in the draft. So that was what was kind of fun, watching teams. And, I would think, last thing, and I'll let y'all go, I'm sorry. But, you got to be a little lucky in the draft. And some years you got to sit there and go, wow, it fell to us, just what we want. There's got to be other years you just go in there and you go to the draft and, damn, nothing's going our way. You know, there is a little luck involved where guys fall for certain reasons. Yeah, and I just looked at the Baltimore Ravens. A couple teams I looked at and I went, wow, everything just fell right in place for them to get the guys they want that fit their mold and all that stuff. So that's. I guess there's a little luck to it. What's that?
The rich got richer, to steal one of your phrases from the draft. I think that's one thing we both came away going, the really good teams in football got better in the draft. And that's what's scary, because I think it's, you know, not that it's scary, but I think we're going to still see the same crop of teams kind of dominating the NFL once again this year in 2020.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.